past few months, I've been doing a lot of sewing and serging, and that means both of my machines are full of lint. I've been looking for a good solution to clean it out, and I finally found it. No, it's not a hairdryer. This is a handheld, rechargeable, combo vacuum blower, and it's totally going to change the way you clean your sewing machine. So keep watching. Hi, I'm Tony. This is So Lounge, and this awesome new product I'm talking about is the JONYJ handheld vacuum blower. Now, in case you didn't know, you should never, ever use compressed air or any sort of blowing device in your sewing machine or serger because it's just going to push the lint and dust further into your machine, causing problems, which is why I needed something with a vacuum feature, because I want to suck out that lint and any dust and dirt or debris that has collected inside of my machine and remove it completely. I don't want it just being blown around and pushed into other nooks and crannies where I really won't be able to get it, and then I will have to take it in for service. Now, the reason I chose this particular model is because, first of all, it's under $50 and it's usually on sale. So I got it at about $35. Depending on what's going on Amazon, you might be able to pick it up, but the list price is $49.99, which is not bad considering it's very compact and handheld. So I don't know if it's actually called JONYJ, but JONYJ sounds weird, so I'm going with JONYJ. The cool thing about this one is that there were a bunch of attachments. So let's take a look inside the box, and I'm going to show you the different ones and some of the cool features that made me purchase this specific unit. So starting with the box, this is what the little vacuum cleaner looks like. It all came in here neat and tidy. Now, one of the cool things about this specific model is that it came with attachments. Now, not all of these attachments will work for the vacuum part of it, but the three that do are quite awesome. So let's talk about those. First off, there is the long nozzle wand attachment, which is really great. You can get into the actual parts of your machine, which I will demonstrate later. Then if you need a little bit of extra help, there's a fuzzy nozzle to kind of work the lint off of the pieces inside of your machine, the mechanical arms, etc. And then if you have a particularly messy sewing table, maybe you did some cutting and your fabric was super linty, there's a little floor attachment, although I think this would be much better for cleaning up a sewing table than the actual floor. So those are the ones that come for the vacuum. There are additional attachments for the blower part of it, which you could use for other devices around your house, like cleaning off your keyboard. And then there's a little wand nozzle for that. And then there's this specific keyboard attachment that goes between the keys of your computer to get any dust or dirt out of there. But we're not going to be focusing on the blowing part since that is not the part we want to use for our sewing machine. Let's get this nozzle back on. And before we head over to my serger to show you what we're doing, let me just show you a couple of other things. There's a little light under here, which I also really liked. I like that this is handheld and that the button to turn it on and off is right at your finger, kind of like a hairdryer. And then it's also fairly quiet once you have all the parts going. Before you start cleaning your machine, make sure it is completely unthreaded. The last thing you want is to jam up some of the threads into the mechanism of your machine or get them caught in the vacuum. Either way, it's easier to just start completely unthreaded on your serger and over on the sewing machine. If you look closely, you can see that my cutting blade is covered in lint. A lot of the arms of the loopers are very linty, and there's a bunch of lint down inside my machine as well, and some on the table. So there's going to be plenty of stuff for us to clean today. So I'm just going to go in and start sucking some of this out. I think I need to attach a fuzzy nozzle to help get some of this off of these pieces. right, so you can already see like how much better that is and how it's not covered in lint anymore. Let's move over to the other side. So there's some lint here. You want to get the feed dogs under here. And then over in this part of the machine, there's just some general lint. So looking closely at the machine, you can see that it's a lot cleaner than it was before. There's no lint on the surfaces. And then coming back around to this side, it's all nice and lint-free. And that's going to keep my machine working better in the long run. I'm going to replace this nozzle and fuzzy nozzle and wand with the floor cleaning attachment to clean off all of these little pieces of lint and thread debris from my table. Let's see how this attachment works. This is the fun part. Now we get to open up the canister and see how much thread and dust we've collected on the inside. There's actually a bit in here. Like, I mean, that's a lot to come out of a serger. You can see how much lint is down in there and how much lint the filter caught. One thing I forgot to mention is this, there's a little brush inside of the box to help you clean off your filter. So this is how much lint we had inside that just came through the filter and the machine, kind of the bigger chunks of stuff. So I'm going to just toss that into the trash can. And then looking at the filter, you can see that it caught some of the finer pieces of dust. Let me take out my little filter. There's a little latch here. There we go. You kind of see it's right there, and then just need to turn it. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to put that to the side. Oh, look what fell out. That's quite a bit that was in there. So I'm just going to brush this off. It's kind of like a metal coffee strainer, if you're wondering what it kind of feels like and how it works. So I'm just going to use my little brush, get that all clean. We have that little pile there. Let's see if there's anything on the filter. Yeah, there's a little on the actual filter as well. The good thing about this is nothing's like super filthy. It's just a lot of lint. So I don't actually have to go run this under any water. There's my little pile that I'm going to pick up. So that's the finer stuff that came through. Just to show you how to quickly put this back together, you line up those two little parts there, lock it in place, pop that back into the canister, and there you go, ready to go. I'm gonna grab my attachments and head over to the sewing machine. I'm gonna repeat this process on my sewing machine. I need to take the bobbin out from underneath, and then I do need to take the throat plate off, get that removed. I am gonna turn on my machine so I have a little tiny bit more light under here. And it is linty, it's not crazy bad, but it's definitely dirty and can use a little bit of cleaning too. So I'm gonna start with the wand attachment. Now I'm going to add the fuzzy nozzle to really get in underneath. I think I'm going to take off this presser foot because of course that would help. And the needle so I don't get stabbed. So I'll put those over to the side. Now you really have a clear view of how dirty it is. And there is some more lint back under here. So let's get that cleaned as well. I'm going to clean down here in the bobbin case. This is something you can do with a front load bobbin. With the top load, you'd have to take some screws out and make that all happen, but let me just get this all out. It's just going to fall out, actually, and then I'm going to just clean out. There's some lint in here. It's a little hard to see because it's really hard to get that lit, but you can kind of see that there is lint. There's something sparkly in there, so let's just get this all clean too. I just noticed there's some dust up here on this little screw here holding the needle in place. So I'm just gonna suck that off real quick. My sewing machine was not quite as linty as my serger, but it does use a lot less thread, so there was less to clean. Plus, I do a little bit better job cleaning my sewing machine than I do my serger. But now that I have this vacuum, I have no excuses. I'm going to clean it after I finish every project to keep my machine working in top order. By getting one of these super lightweight vacuums, you can keep your machine clean too and avoid unnecessary trips to the repair shop. Now, I did go weigh this. It is 14.9 ounces without any of the attachments. Once you attach the wand with the fuzzy nozzle, it is 15.9. So it is very lightweight. It's not going to wear you out. It is also USB rechargeable, so you do not have to worry about batteries that will fail you when you need it the most. So if you want to check this out, I'll leave a link in the description below, and I've got another great video coming up next that you totally want to watch. I'll see you over there.